Of the breakfast show, and we're still celebrating 13 years of achievement after the glory revolution of 30th June, and 13 years of achievement, a real defining moment, our national moment. 13 years of achievement and the long journey from states building, organizational structure, economic reform, structure and cultural reform, cultural achievements, diplomatic achievements, and in all various fields. Well, talking about in particular about the beyond the political, diplomatic, and economic achievements, we'd like to talk also about and to shed more light about the cultural achievements and the revolution, how is building framed around culture. New museums, heritage, restoration, and such a push to grow film, arts, and creative industries as part of the new republic and its soft power. Let's watch.
Today, Egypt shows the world a model where heritage and modern creativity move forward together. Since June 30th, the state adopts a cultural approach built on reviving identity, supporting creators, and strengthening Egypt's global influence. From the Grand Egyptian Museum to cinema, music, and digital arts, culture becomes a core pillar that advances tourism, opens path for youth, and presents a confident image of the new republic. The first pillar is heritage, restored and presented at a global standard. The Grand Egyptian Museum stands as a landmark of this vision. It brings pharaonic civilization into a modern museum experience, attracts international visitors, and reshapes Egypt's position on the world cultural map. At the same time, restoration projects in historic Cairo revive Fatimid Islamic and Coptic sites, connecting Egyptians and visitors to a living heritage in the heart of the capital. The repatriation of Egyptian artifacts from abroad further reinforces Egypt's role as a guardian of global cultural heritage. The second pillar is creativity, empowered and visible. The Cairo International Film Festival returns to international stature, placing Egyptian cinema in dialogue with global scenes. Music, theater, publishing, and design grow through festivals, co-productions, and wider distribution. A new generation of creators in animation, gaming, and digital content emerges through dedicated studios and training programs. Their work travels on international platforms and tells a contemporary Egyptian story in a modern language. The third pillar is a soft power expanded through exchange. Egyptian cultural centers abroad showcase both heritage and contemporary arts to non-Egyptian audiences. Partnerships with African, Arab, and international institutions on exhibitions, research, and conservation turned culture into a tool for dialogue and cooperation. Literature gains reach through translation programs and international book fairs, bringing Egyptian voices to new readers. Together, these pillars change the equation. Culture leads development. It drives tourism. It creates opportunity for youth. It projects a confident, creative, and civilizational image of Egypt.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're still ahead on Nile TV International in our today's edition of the Breakfast Show, and to shed more light on this, on the cultural achievements and how this turned to be a strong soft power of Egypt, maintaining and keeping strong cultural achievements after the 13 years of achievements after the revolution. We are most delighted to be joined here in the studio with our prominent guest, Dr. Rania Abdel Latif, cultural management expert. Dr. Rania, great pleasure having you with us, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Hanan. It's my pleasure for being here today, and allow me at the outset at the first to start by extend my sincere appreciation for this remarkable invitation for joining the Nile TV team and all Egyptians on the occasion of celebration of the 30th of June.
And especially that we are today we are announcing new or launching new programs and celebrating also as well the anniversary of the revolution as well.
Oh, how amazing.
Two main new programs, Voices of the Continent and Inside Middle East.
Oh, how amazing that to hear that. It's this is Egypt anyway. We are always launching more and more. And regarding to the topic of the main topic of the interview today, let me start by the significant achievement for the 13th of June on the culture sector by saying that the significant achievement is redefining culture. To go more further in these details, let me take you and all our valuable viewers to a little journey to the past, exactly to the year 2013, and those days a couple of months earlier than our mentioned big day, while the demonstrators of the culture sector stood up and went to face the attention of the brotherhoods.
Yeah, we've been getting into a very dark tunnel.
Yes,
yes,
they were attention to the formation of the and destroy our sector, and that's was the, we can say, the spark that ignited the flame of the revolution, and then we got this successful and the glorious victory. So for the return from the 13th of June to the culture sector, like the returning favor. Since then, after we have, by the year 2014, and we start the Little Baby Agenda, the culture pillar was a very important pillar inside the agenda, and the political leadership under, of course, the auspices and direct guidance from His Excellency President Abdel al-Sisi to repositioning culture and declaring it is a fundamental pillar of the national security, and insisting to go more farther than the prototype of the culture that the individuals see in it, and for redefining culture, as we said, to be not as the people used to know that culture for the elites and the selective groups of people that for the artistics or the literatures or intellectuals, but also it goes for farther more than for all individuals in the Egypt or country.
Yeah, we're talking about the cultural achievements and your point of view, how culture here became after the revolution a main pillar for the national security, and also to a target to achieve the goals of the sustainable development and Egypt's vision of 2030, and how this also played a pivotal role to enhance our image abroad.
Yes, for that, as we mentioned, that the whole vision of the cultural identity has been changed. This definition translated to several programs, or a number of programs, and there were magical keywords behind these programs. As we said, the very, very important keywords empowering, using accessibility and capability, and also integrating society integration. So these main important secret words, keywords, were the driver behind the scene for the programs that were controlling the objectives of the work, the plan, the active plan on earth, like cultural justice, like institutional development, like of course developing the culture, the theater, the music, and music sector and everything.
Yes.
For abroad also, sorry.
Yeah.
For abroad. This is a very
our
important
image
thing.
abroad.
That was my very great experience. Nowadays, Egypt replaced the type that used to be seen abroad. We are not that prototype anymore. We are using our cultural heritage as and our history as a kind of source of power in front of the whole world. As you can see, regarding to the opening of the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, it's not anymore a place of touristic
Yep.
or just
Not just a place
it's not just a
gathering
place. It has,
artifacts
yes,
and that's
it has
it.
its philosophy. It's a message
Exactly.
to send a message for the whole world that the Egyptian could design and could make use their unique history and unique ancient design with a contemporary vision, with a new vision, with all the elements of the digital world that we are inside.
Yep, and as you mentioned, the gem, I was about to ask you in particular about this, because this is not something that we're gonna just bridge it. The opening of the gem, the great event that the whole world had witnessed, and all the the global mass media had talked about and mentioned the great opening and the ceremony of opening of the gem. I'll just have to borrow some words of the messages that President El-Sisi also had conveyed while he's within his speech while opening the gem, as he said that the nation that could sustain or maintain its heritage could build a great and brighter future.
Yes.
And so this is what we maintain now, the bridge between the past or the history or the civilization and getting through and passing into a better future for the new generations.
Yes, absolutely. And we are so lucky that we have this leadership with this wise and wide vision about the importance of our culture and what is the unicity that we have. I'm always saying that we have that what the whole world does not have, and from this end we have to notice, and that we were working on what we gain from the future, from the past, and what are going to produce for the future, how to preserve our culture heritage, and how our youth, our Gen Zs, the new generation to present and produce their culture and present and deliver it and make it to the future for the next generations, of course. So this is the main topic, this is the main target, and that the new, if you see in the whole type of cultural fields, you can see this twisting a milestone, thinking about how to produce culture and preserving, of course, our cultural heritage.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, how could Egypt, your point of view, get used to or get benefit out of its films, theater, digital arts, all these sectors of the cultural arts, I mean, and getting this to path to the international reach? I believe that everyone is following now. This is a new direction that relates the culture industries to the economy, and there is now a new definition. Now it's new for the ordinary people. That's orange economy, and this relates for the creativity, creative ideas and intellectual properties, and to transform it to products, culture products, of course with heritage, or like handicrafts and all the culture service into products that could be improve the income for the countries. And it's not only in Egypt, but the whole world now is working on that. If you I believe that everyone is following that Egypt now is mentioned and a part of the very important economical alliances in the whole world, such like one of them like the BRICS, and we are so glad that honored that we have the culture sector inside this and focusing on what culture could improve and promote for the economy, including of course the creative industries and for all the mentioned culture fields, cinema, theater, music, handicrafts and contemporary and so on. Beyond building museums, and we are witnessing now glory time as we're now witnessing building up museums everywhere in Egypt, around Egypt, not only in the main capital Cairo, the Museum of Tahrir or the Jam in Giza or whatever. No, we have now in each governorate a new museum in Sharm el-Sheikh, in Kafr el-Sheikh, in Minya, in Upper Egypt, everywhere. Beyond this, Egypt is also actively participating in many international touristic events. I mean, and exhibitions like the Berlin Bursa, like the London Bursa, tourism Bursa, Madrid tourism Bursa, and the IFTM also in Paris. We are getting ready to participate in next September. How this is supposed to, with African and international community, supposed to enhance our diplomatic relationship with such countries, I mean African and international?
Yes, of course. First of all, participating in these all mentioned events that you are just saying about, it's assuring that Egypt now, our history and our culture and all that we have is a brand. It's high-end brand now. Egypt, what Egypt have from the ancient properties and arts and whatever we have inherited from our history is a brand. So Egypt is a focal point in Africa, and always seeking to focus on that we are African. We are African, we Arab, as a regional role for Egypt in the culture sector is leading all the region. I mean, when Egypt presents in anywhere of these events, she's presenting Africa, and the African lead now is focusing and concentrating about how they can merge with the and be aligned with the steps that Egypt are taking for improving the abroad existence or the international existence on behalf of Africa in the whole events or culture sectors.
Yeah. Now we are also, after 13 years of achievements in various domains and sectors, now we could strongly say that we are really active in many initiatives, cultural initiatives, cultural festivals, like many other Western countries. I mean, in Madrid you find, in Spain, I mean, you find many festivals, cultural festivals.
In the streets,
exactly, in the streets everywhere, Rio de Janeiro, etc.
Yes.
And this had a ROI for the tourism and on the GDP.
Yes.
Well, Egypt now, we have many initiatives and many festivals. One of those is the one word, the Alam Alamein in Alamein. The one is always we are celebrating in the summer vacation and the coastal resort. How you find such festivals and supposed to enhance our image and our soft power as well?
Of course, it has a very big role and turn, because as you said, the secret is behind the ROI, the return of investment, and that's we have a very unique assets of the location. We have variety diverse locations, Al Alamein, Sahel, and we have also in the south we have the festivals that we used to hold in Aswan in the winter, and it's kind of promoting what we have in the selecting the time, selecting the location, and selecting the product. So these, like Al Alamein, you are using the timing, the good timing for the touristic that enjoying that the very good special weather on the Sahel, and the location and what we have to present. So it's kind of marketing, and now it's yes, we can use our culture as a kind of investment to improve our GDP, and also as a kind of marketing to what we have. So these locations, it's very kind of specifying how can we use our location and our culture together and combining it to present our vision and go through our sustainable development plan.
Yeah, talking about this point in particular again, how this is supposed to open new doors, collaboration, mutual understanding between Egypt and the other nations?
Of course, inviting to see, and there is a lot of parallel roads together, goes goes together, aligned together. We have a lot of partnerships now, diversity of types of investment in culture and in touristic and in culture investment, of course, cultural industries. The whole world now is watching Egypt, and as we said, the political movement of Egypt goes aligned with what we have, and that's enhancing and promoting what we could achieve from this positioning. Also, the whole world now looking, as I said, as I mentioned before, that Egypt and what it products from the culture and the design, as also we can mention, it's a branding, it's a trend. The word of Egypt now is a trend. Yeah. And we have to be proud of that. Wherever, and also, by the way, the new generation knows that very well, that they have what the other don't have.
Yep, and sorry. Out of your experience, how suppose the cultural exchange or cultural dialogue with our neighbors, African neighbors, suppose also to enhance Egypt's positioning as a regional leader, and also in particular in the cultural domain?
This is our soft power. This is our soft power. Positioning that, and I believe that Egypt already proved that the power of our soft power is very effective. There is a lot of bilaterals, MOUs, and related to the what Africa needs, and also Egypt supports a lot of pillars in Africa, in economical side, in the educational side, in cultural side. So this kind of dialogue and kind of the tools of Egypt's soft power makes over what we want to achieve, and goes aligned with the leadership and the political leadership goals.
Well, I would like to talk about the power of the next generation, also and specifically in the animation and the innovative games, etc. But now we will go to a short break and we'll come back.